Hey everybody, welcome back to New York Yankees Recaps. So it's been 47 days since Major League Baseball shut down spring training, sent everybody home, but it finally looks like we're getting an idea of when baseball will resume and what that will look like. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to answer some of your other questions, all starting now. So the major news comes from Jeff Passan, one of the most prominent baseball writers in America, and he suggests that the players, the owners, and Major League Baseball have been talking on a way to play baseball this season. Now, with this epidemic, it seems to be slowing down in some spots, not everywhere, but in some cities it is slowing down, and it seems as if the intention is to play as much of a season as possible. Now, it's unlikely that there will be fans for much of the season. And here's kind of what they're anticipating happening. So everything that I'm hearing is that Major League Baseball is using the month of May to meet with health experts, to meet with logistical and event planning experts, to meet with the player representatives, and to come to some kind of an agreement as to how baseball can be played later on this summer. Now, they're going to use May to kind of figure out which stadiums can be played in. You have retractable roof stadiums in Florida. You have them in Texas. You have them in Arizona. You have one in Seattle. I think there's one in Toronto. So what we're doing is we're trying to find a location that can house Major League Baseball, but that can also allow for multiple games to be played on the same day, because you're going to have teams sharing stadiums. So this is going to be quite odd for a while. Now, Governor Cuomo of New York said yesterday that he anticipates that baseball could be played in Yankee Stadium and in Citi Field at some point this summer, but he doesn't think that having fans is a good idea. Now, a lot of this is dependent on testing, and right now testing has been a major issue for our country. It really shouldn't be, because a lot of countries are able to get testing for their citizens, but it seems like a lot of it has been mismanaged, and that's only prolonged this crisis. But as of now, the plan is to figure out the logistics in May, to have an abbreviated spring training in June that lasts about 3 weeks, with a week set aside for players to get to their designated spring training location. Now, a lot of folks have gone home to be with their families. I know Masahiro Tanaka has gone all the way back to Japan. And so there's going to be some travel issues. There's a lot of travel restrictions in the world right now, so players need a bit of time to get things like travel approved and all that stuff. It seems like a lot of guys have been throwing on their own. They've been hitting. So people should be pretty much in shape. It's just a matter of getting game reps and getting pitchers the innings that they need to get ready. So right now, you wouldn't be able to have somebody run out there and throw 6 or 7 innings because guys just haven't been doing it. And then what it sounds like they're going to do is they're going to play July, August, September, October. So 4 months of the regular season played in domes in warm weather areas, and then playing the postseason in November. So it would basically just stretch out the season by a month, make up for this month that we'd missed. I don't think they're going to have a 162-game season. I don't think that's going to be possible. Would not surprise me if you see 100 to 120 games. They might be able to squeeze in more games if you expand rosters, you play doubleheaders once or twice a week. There might be some 7-inning games mixed in. They're looking at all sorts of creative ideas. They're looking at robotic umps. You know, if you're playing multiple games on the same day in the same park, you're going to have limits on how long the game can go. I know that's not really baseball, but you can't have an 18-inning game when you got to play another game immediately following that game. So there's going to be some differences, and we should all be prepared for that. But, you know, we're witnessing history. This is something that will probably never happen again in most of our lifetimes, God willing. But we'll see. I mean, it's just a very unique situation. Obviously, they're prioritizing the health of the players, of the fans, of the staff. But you got to have baseball. I mean, this is a country where we work very hard and we work constantly, and we don't get a ton of vacation time. Everybody needs that respite from their daily life, and baseball is America's pastime. I don't care how popular football is. Baseball is the sport, and that's what people want to see, and we're all ready to get going. So, you know, at some point, it's like they say in Shawshank Redemption, get busy living or get busy dying. Some other updates from recent interviews with Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman. It sounds like Aaron Judge is healing. He's not 100% ready to go yet, but he's healing, and this delayed season should help him be ready. I'd imagine that by July he will be ready. Sounds like Giancarlo Stanton is ready to go. Of course, he only had 1 or 2 at-bats in the spring before he injured his hamstring, so there's still a question about getting him ramped up at a normal pace, whether or not he can take that. James Paxton has thrown 5 bullpens, so it sounds like he's going to be ready. That will eliminate the 5th starter controversy. It's going to be Garrett Cole, it's going to be Masahiro Tanaka, it's going to be James Paxton, J-Happ, and then number 5 will be Jordan Montgomery. So to answer that question somebody left on one of my posts, that should take care of itself. Now, one thing you're going to see that I don't think Major League Baseball wants to do, but they're probably going to be forced to do, is to expand rosters so that teams can carry an extra couple of pitchers. As I mentioned, guys are not going to be stretched out. There's a difference between throwing bullpens in your backyard and throwing innings against Major League competition. And if you force these guys into a situation where they're throwing more innings than they're used to or than they're adjusted to, then you're going to see a lot more arm injuries. And with as expensive as pitchers are these days, that's not something that the owners want. That's not something that Major League Baseball wants. So I think you're going to see the rosters expand. They were already going to be expanded. They were already going to be 26, and there was going to be 13 pitchers and 13 position players. I think you're going to see that go to 28. I think you're going to see an extra pitcher, an extra position player, maybe even 29, maybe even 2 extra pitchers. So that's something that Major League Baseball is obviously considering. It'll be interesting to see what happens there, but stick around, check out some of my other videos. I just did a documentary on the 1996 World Series. I did one on the 2017 American League Division Series, so go through my channel and check those out. I will check back in periodically. It sounds like we're going to have baseball in the next couple of months, and so anytime I get news, I will pass it on. I'll see you next time.